Hey guys! So we have our landscape painting from last week with our foreground, our middle ground, and our background, the big, medium, and small things showing us the space. Okay, and here I've got pan watercolors for adding the element of our color. Now I've always given you guys liquid watercolors, so these are different. It's going to take us some practice to figure out how they work really well. So be patient with yourself and give yourself plenty of chances to practice. Remember, we hold brushes like a pencil, okay? And when we wash them, we gently sweep the floor. It doesn't make a sound, it doesn't make a splash, and on the edge, we wipe the water off, no tapping. You also take a paper towel and dry it. When your water gets dirty and it needs to be changed, raise your hand, Miss O'Hara. We'll get that water switched out for you. All right, so here I have got my landscape. And I'm going to start with my sky. I'm going to work from the top down. Not that you have to, it's just what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get lots of blue on my brush, and I'm petting a dog to get that blue on my brush. And I know that when I first put my brush down, it's going to be the darkest color it's going to be. So using atmospheric perspective, I'm going to start at the top to give me the darkest blue right at the top of the sky, okay? Now, these brushes are smaller than the flat brushes that we typically would have. Normally, I'd have flat and round brushes for you guys. Not this time, okay? We know everything's a little different right now, so we all have our one brush that we're going to touch. And it's going to take a little longer. You're going to have to be a little more patient, all right? That's okay. We can do hard things. We can be patient while we're painting. Now, I just put that dark blue right on top, okay? So what I might do now, instead of putting that much blue all the way, I'm going to not put much more blue on my brush, and I'm going to start taking the blue that's already on my paper by adding water to my brush and pulling it down towards that horizon line. And look how that's giving me my atmospheric perspective, right? It's got the dark blue at the top and the lighter colors are going down. Of course, we know if you are painting like a sunset or a sunrise or a cloudy sky, the rules are different for that in the sky, okay? And that's totally fine if you want to do one of those things, a cloudy sky, a sunset sky. It's totally your choice. I'm doing a blue sky with some atmospheric perspective, okay? Of course, those have atmospheric perspective too. The rules are just a little different. All right, but even if you're doing a cloudy sky, okay, atmospheric perspective works on the land, okay? So wash, dry, I'm gonna get some green, and I'm gonna make sure that my darkest green is on the bottom, okay? And of course, your land might be different. Maybe you painted a desert, and this would be brown for sand, or there's red sand too, or whatever kind of landscape you did. So mine is green, yours might be different, but the darker colors are still going to be the closest ones to you. And the lighter colors are going to be the farther away ones to you, okay? Now, doing that fade, like I did in the sky, isn't going to work as well for the hills, all right? So I'm going to go ahead and fill this in a little bit, so I can show you how to get that different value in the second hill. Okay, so I'm gonna add this just a bit more. And now I'm going to, now that I know there's less paint on my brush, what I'm gonna do is not dip my brush in as many times. And when I do, I'm gonna spread the paint further and further out. See, so I'm spreading the paint more and more. Well, on this hill, I'm not spreading the paint as much. See, I'm dipping in more often, putting more paint on it, but up here, I'm not going to put as much paint on it. And you can see that gives me a light green and then a dark green down here. So you can really play with watercolors and get a lot of different values, okay? Have fun experimenting. Sometimes you can even do things like add little drops, okay? Watercolors like dots, and then if you add water to your dots, that can be fun too. Okay, I can do little dots of red, and then you could have like a dot of another color next to it, and mixed those colors together, and that can give you some more interesting colors than you would have before. Okay. All right. So everybody, keep your bodies calm, keep your water safe, keep your brush safe, hold it nicely like a pencil, okay? And make sure you're washing so the watercolors stay nice and safe, because the next kid's got to use those too.